Right, thousands of homes are waterlogged, all because of the heavy nonstop rain from Tropical Storm Fay. CBS 12's Al Peffley joins us live in one of the areas hardest hit. That's Fort Pierce, where dry spots are actually hard to find. Al.
Tara, good afternoon. We're on South 25th Street near Edwards, near Fort Pierce, and to say that this area got drenched by Tropical Storm Fay is an understatement. We'll start right over here. Just take a look at that. The water is up on the sides of that house. You can see the car in the driveway over there underwater. That water over there, I guess, is probably 3-4 feet deep. And then let's pan over here to my right, and you can see there's a red SUV stuck out there in the middle of that street. The water, again, up over the tires. Again, very, very deep out there, and you can just imagine what a nightmare that is for those people. Some homeowners were basically trapped and had to be rescued this morning. Airboats were brought in to rescue some people on Bell Avenue near Fort Pierce. The floodwaters appear to be at least 4 or 5 feet deep back in there where they live, making it impossible to get out if all you've got is a car. So the only thing that really works in bad conditions like that is a boat. And some residents say they are thrilled that someone came to help them get out.
Oh, he is fantastic. I don't know how to thank him, really. I don't know. May God bless him. Otherwise, we don't know what are we going to do.
And besides thousands of homes damaged by floodwaters, authorities are also worried about bridges such as this one on Selvets Road near Fort Pierce. They say countless bridges over creeks and canals may have been weakened by flooding and by debris that was swept along by the high water. Can the bridges stand up to the vehicle traffic? Well, it may be hard to tell at first glance, and as a result, county officials say they need to get experts out there now to inspect all the bridges. You can imagine what a time-consuming job that will be. And many streets are still impassable in St. Lucie County today. Some neighborhoods like Sweetwater Drive are under waist-deep water. Others, such as one area at South 8th Street and Howie Drive in Fort Pierce, fared a little better. But even there, the water got high enough to get into people's homes. Tropical Storm Fay may be moving on, but the cleanup job is only beginning. The county administrator told me they had no idea that Fay would produce so much rain. He says they believe they got about 10 inches in a very short time, and he said the drainage system here just couldn't handle that kind of rain. He says that the damage from this storm easily will run in the millions of dollars. Tara, Claudia.
Homes behind me here, you can see just how deep the water is. We did drive around Fort Pierce earlier today. A lot of the areas that were flooded for the past 2 days, the floodwaters have receded, but that's not the case here. And let me just show you just an idea. Let me walk up here. The problem with these waters is not only are people not able to get out of their house, but it's hard to pretty much see anything through them. They're very murky. They contain a lot of garbage, a lot of sewage, just not the kind of waters you want to be in as a regular person walking through these. I got these waders on, which are actually making it a little bit easier to do this, but this is a very dangerous area out here. One of the areas that is still completely underwater. I mean, if I go back to this fence over here, the water will easily go above my waist, and that's why I'm not going to get too far back. I don't want to get completely soaking wet, but this is one of the areas that people need to be very careful. Last night and yesterday, there were airboats coming in and out of this neighborhood, rescuing people and getting them out, because as you can see over there, if we pan to that car, this is what would happen to somebody if, in fact, they tried to get out of their house. They would get stuck in this water. It is very deep, and the health department is actually issuing a couple of tips on how to stay safe as far as drinking water goes. Now, number one, if you do have a well of some kind and it did get flooded in an area like this, you need to make sure that that well gets tested and decontaminated once these floodwaters recede. Do not use any contaminated water to wash dishes, brush your teeth, prepare any kind of food, and only drink boiled water, bottled water, or treated water. And the way you can treat that water is by using 1 drop of unscented household chlorine bleach, and that way you can treat that water. But again, try not to use any of this water unless it has been treated, boiled, and or cleared by the health department officials that test it and make sure it is clean. That way you don't get any infectious diseases. Back to you guys.
The following takes place just after midnight on Black Friday.
I got here about 10:30.
Since this morning.
9:30 a.m. Just about 5. I'm actually here for the laptop.
Laptop.
A laptop for laptops.
Look into your heart and you'll find love, love.
This is the only way I can afford to buy electronics.
We need people out there spending the money.
There is no line. Everybody's still sleeping. It's cold.
So we were really expecting there to be a lot more people here.
What's up with that?
To buy a couple TVs.
For GPS systems?
GPS, mainly. We wanted to each one of us were going to pick one up, actually.
I forgot to get the folding chair out the house, and I'm not going to go back because somebody else might come, so the lady said we could use the cart, so I just sat on it.
Got anybody out there yet?
A lot more people last year, though, than this year.
No, y'all know I got to eat some food.
Getting a TV and some DVDs.
I'm trying to get a laptop. I think it's the economy. A lot of people don't have a lot of money and the internet deals, so a lot of people just bought it on the internet and stay home.
That's just something we do now, Thanksgiving, nothing else to do.
Lindsay Cohen joins us live. Lindsay, I can imagine the sea of yellow as people seeing red in this community.
Yeah, and it's kind of given them the blues, Rick. You might have been able to hear the buses here behind me. Every morning, this small suburban street, you see it right there, it's turned into a boulevard of buses. The problem is the neighborhood is located directly south of a bus transportation hub for the Palm Beach County School District. You see it right there on the map, and you can hear it here in the background. Twice a day, instead of turning out onto Summit Boulevard, the buses instead head south onto Davis Road and into this residential neighborhood. Well, that means nearly 50 buses every morning, one after another, from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., and then again during the afternoon commute. Well, folks who live here complain about noise, exhaust, and traffic on their small street. They tell us that they've called officials to air their concerns, and they can't understand why they just can't get those buses rerouted.
We've called and called and called, and we've emailed, and we get no response. They say they're either working on it, they'll reroute the buses, or they need to discuss it, or they'll call us back, and we don't get any response.
Well, here's the response we got from a school district spokesman. He says that the left turn onto westbound Summit that the buses would have taken is, quote, a safety hazard, which would endanger lives. A traffic signal would be the best solution. The district has made the request, and the county has considered it, but it is indicated that the traffic volume just does not justify a traffic signal. Back out here live again, you see those buses coming here through the neighborhood. Well, we checked with county traffic. They say the same thing, that they studied the intersection up the street over on Summit back in September of 2007, and that the volume just did not meet county and state standards to justify a traffic light. So unless the county decides to make some sort of exception, it looks like we're going to be seeing those buses coming through this neighborhood, at least for the near future. We're live this morning in suburban West Palm Beach. I'm Lindsay Cohen. Ashley and Rick, back over to you.
And Lindsay begins our live team coverage. Lindsay, what's the latest from there?
Well, Rick, firefighters here in Martin County remain on guard this noontime, and you can see why. Remnants of this brush fire continue to burn, bright embers, puffs of smoke, and residents on alert. In the dark of night, light, fire, and action.
We've been out here all night, driving around, doing recon, making sure that nothing's flaring up.
Flare-ups a concern, keeping crews on alert with some spots still smoldering. Pockets and pieces continue to burn early Thursday morning after a 90-acre brush fire scorched the earth here in Stewart.
It's satisfaction that it was under control, but I look back and it could have been very dangerous.
Fire officials were worried about the danger that high winds could pose. They kept a close eye on hotspots throughout the morning and kept residents relatively calm.
You ain't kidding, from the bottom of my heart, saving all the lives that they did. Without them, you don't know what to do.
What to do? Watch, wait, and see, and warn residents that a single cigarette could spark enough to risk lives and cause harm to homes and to humans.
We were very fortunate that no injuries and, no major property damage, and next time we may not be so lucky.
Officials say they were able to track down the cause of this fire because a witness actually came forward, said they saw someone toss a cigarette onto the dry land, which sparked the blaze. Officials also want to remind folks out there that is a misdemeanor in the state of Florida, punishable under the law, tossing a cigarette onto dry land in these conditions. That's according to the folks over at the Division of Forestry. Reporting live in Stewart, Lindsay Cohen, CBS 12 News.